Man City are back in Premier League action on Sunday, and it's a big one for Pep Guardiola's side as they welcome reigning champions Liverpool to the Etihad Stadium. Now, we are recording this game before the midweek Champions League fixtures, but for Man City, they enter this contest with Liverpool after beating Bournemouth 3-1 last weekend, while Liverpool ended an alarming four-match losing streak in the Premier League to beat Aston Villa 2-0 last time out. First of all, Stephen, what have you made of Liverpool's defence of their title and their start to the season? How surprising has it been from a Man City perspective following their unprecedented level of spending at Anfield in summer?
Yeah, it's been pretty poor, hasn't it? Obviously, the result against Villa was good for them. Notably without Isak or Verts on the pitch. Actually, I know he came on, but Kirkez as well on the bench. Big signings, just not involved in this game at all. And they looked a lot more like themselves. With any of these signings, yeah, Ekitike was starting, but he was the
Yeah.
only one. Basically it was the same side as last season, and they were much more solid. And Villa, frustratingly, nowhere near the side they were against Manchester City, giving them Martinez giving them a easy goal. But yeah, Liverpool have been a bit of shambolic, if we're being honest. They started really, really well, but they were also really they were stretching their luck a little bit, with lots of late winners. And of course, they're back up into third now, only a point behind City, but they lost like multiple games in a row. And I don't think the Villa result will change everything, but it definitely gives them a shot of confidence. But those frailties will obviously still be there. They're still going to have a lot of question marks around them, rightfully so, because the follow up to a glorious season was meant to be special after splashing so much money in the market, and it's been quite a weird season so far for Liverpool.
Yeah, and sort of those members of Arne Slot's squad, which ones do you think maybe City will fear the most? Who could actually cause the most problems for Guardiola if they are to perform at their best in this one?
Well, it's Salah, isn't it? Salah's always given City problems. He's one of the best players in the world on form, and I think the midfield of Gravenberch and McAllister and Szoboszlai is really, really, really it's really well balanced, lots of energy. It's at the Etihad, so I'm quite confident about that. We should have the beating of them. It's no guarantee because they're quality. I don't think they'll play Verts or Isak. I don't know. Is he going to be available?
I think that's up for debate. He's obviously been struggling with some niggling injuries. I think
Yeah.
Wirtz will be available. It's just whether he starts. But I think Isak's more of a doubt than Wirtz at the moment, anyway.
No, you definitely start Ekitike up front. I reckon. I'm assuming. I think that's more likely. And you look at the experience you've got about Robertson, Van Dijk, Canate. Yeah, and I expect Liverpool as a package. We know what they can do. It's Salah, the pace of Ekitike, Gakpo is just a threat out wide as well. We know all about them. It's just where they are in terms of the confidence, and they clearly, they're not really integrated Kirkes, Frimpong, Verts, Isak yet. That will maybe come a time for them. I hope it doesn't, obviously, as a City fan, but even if they're not in the starting lineup, there's lots of depth off the bench there for them as well, and lots of quality. But yeah, to me, you keep Salah quiet. Hopefully Van Dijk has a poor game, and then you've got a chance.
Yeah, and in terms of City's record against Liverpool, they've only won one of the last eight games against Liverpool in the Premier League. What do you think we can expect in this game? How optimistic are you that City can actually get a positive result? Is it going to be a tight game in this one or a bit more open? What do you think we can expect in this one?
It's gone back and forth this season already. We're only 10 games in, but the narratives have shifted for both sides so many times. City started well, and then they dropped off a little bit and did really well. Then the Villa game was frustrating. Then they did really well against Bournemouth. And it's been similar for Liverpool, where it's been so topsy-turvy and so up and down that it's very hard to predict. I think City are in the better place this second. I think the Bournemouth result was great. And I know they just beat Villa too, symbolically after City lost them, admittedly. But I still think a lot of those frailties and the confidence isn't there yet. And if it was at Anfield, I'd be a lot more nervous. I'm rarely confident against Liverpool, like genuinely rarely. But for some reason, I don't know. I think there's something about the City side and the way they're playing right now, and the way Liverpool are at. Is like I think we've got a really good chance in this one. I normally go into it with my heart saying a victory, but my head saying a draw or even potentially a loss. But I think City will win this one. I really do. I something about the way this team's going, and I think look how we played against Arsenal. I know they were the better side really in terms of possession, but we defended like our lives mattered. City, they were so determined to get something from that game, and we saw a really good performance in the derby. and against Bournemouth and so on, and they clearly learned the lessons from the Aston Villa game. That I think they'll go into this Liverpool game, and of course, we remains to be seen how the game goes. We haven't seen that yet, but I think they'll go into it absolutely ready for it with a very up for it crowd at the Etihad, and yeah, I think I think we'll be too good for Liverpool. I really do. I believe that the creativity this side's showing right now will create chances against Liverpool defense has been a little bit porous so far this season.
Yeah, exactly. And it'd be interesting as well to see how Liverpool react to the game previously, which will be Real Madrid in the Champions League. And they got a couple of days to prepare before facing City. So that'd be interesting as well. And in terms of the importance of this game for both teams, this obviously these two teams are wanting to challenge for the title. They want to close the gap to Arsenal. So if either City or Liverpool were to lose this one, where do you think they would stand in the race for the title?
It depends, of course, what Arsenal do, but I think both sides right now are probably looking at Arsenal as this sort of insufferable, relentless, boring machine of a side because they are, yeah, I mean, it would be a massive blow to drop points. I mean, if draw would be a hammer blow for both sides, given the um, hunting down Arsenal. I think Liverpool in particular that they're expected to, given what they've spent in the summer a truly absurd amount of money, breaking transfer records twice. They have no excuse to be this far behind Arsenal as it currently stands. They really don't. And I know players need to adapt, but no, I'm sorry. If you spend that much money and break the transfer record twice, you don't get that that softly approach. You have to deliver results as the champions, and they are too far behind. And given the fact that, well, to be fair, Arsenal's got Sunderland away. Sunderland are in really good form. Look, I think they'll win that, but Sunderland could frustrate them and they could get a draw there potentially. But they're still likely to win that. And if even a draw, if you put it at 8 points, I think between City and Arsenal, and then 9 points between Liverpool and Arsenal, and that point would be that's right, isn't it? I'm pretty certain it would be.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it is. Yeah,
it would be. That's yeah, that's massive. And given they don't concede goals and they're so defensively solid and they have a little bit of a threat too going forward. Not a little bit, they have a good threat going forward these days with many different ways to get at you. It would be huge. Huge for Arsenal and terrible for City and Liverpool. For what it's worth, I don't think City is their aim is always to win the league, but I'd be amazed if the internal expectations of this season are to win the league. It doesn't feel like that way to me as a fan. It feels very much an acceptance that when you've had multiple in fact, nearly a whole starting 11 of legends leave over the past couple of years. It's going to be a transitional season. I think City would they would want to be there, putting the pressure on Arsenal and see, but Liverpool they should be right up near the top.
yeah, exactly. And if we look at City's lineup, who would you like to maybe see starting this one? A lot will depend on whether everyone comes through the Dortmund game midweek unscathed. Some of them potential candidates, maybe Rodri, could he be a contender to start this one, or will Guardiola stick with Gonzalez? And you've got the likes of Cherki and Foden. Will they start as well? What do you think?
I think Roger's going to be fit enough personally for it.
Okay.
I would literally Control C, Control V. I would copy and paste this side from Bournemouth game straight
Yeah.
over to the Liverpool game. I think the way that they play, I think Bournemouth are a slightly better side than Liverpool right now in terms of the consistency. Not too dissimilar in terms of the style. I think the at home gives us a bit of an edge in terms of the creativity. I think Foden and Haaland and Shirky will revel playing against Liverpool. I think the movement will be too much for them. And Bernardo Silva, Bernardo hates Liverpool. He just does, which I love. But Bernardo alongside Nico Gonzalez makes an awful lot of sense. And then so does the power and the pace of the fullbacks, and so does the settled centre back partnership ahead of the goalkeeper. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work against Liverpool. In fact, to me, it's the most logical collection of players. I mean, that means Ryan is on the bench still, but I mean, it's right. I mean, Bernardo's experience in a game like this is great alongside the recognisable DM, and I can't see a world where Shirky and Foden don't get space against Liverpool. I know Gravenberch is in really good form and McAllister is a quality player as well. But I think they will find space and there will be spacing behind because Liverpool haven't been great defensively this season by their standards. Look at City's defensive record, 8 goals, Arsenal's 3, Liverpool conceded 14, which is not like horrific, but it's much worse than the other two sides. And they're going to a goal difference of only 4 for Liverpool compared to 12 and 15 for City and Arsenal. They've been too loose at the back, and Van Dijk hasn't been his dominant best. He will have trouble against Haaland if City play a similar style against Bournemouth, in my opinion.
Yeah, and finally then can I get your score prediction for City's clash with Liverpool?
I'm going to win 3-1. I'm going big. I'm really confident for this. Unusually confident against Liverpool, but it's something about the way the worlds are aligning right now. The stars are aligning for this game. I think City have got the better chance.